very ancient structures, thousands of years older than archaeologists suppose, may be hiding in plain view. If you have a relatively short time frame to deal with, then searching for a lost civilization becomes much more complex and much more difficult. But if you have a very long time frame to deal with, there's much more material to investigate. The handiwork of humans is clearly evident in this site.
Have you ever heard of a civilization that rivaled ancient Egypt, but vanished without a trace?
A great civilization that had been destroyed and that had left some survivors who had come to Egypt.
Deep in the heart of Africa, which boasts the world's oldest human artifacts, lies the forgotten kingdom of Kerma. These enigmatic people built massive structures called Defufas, but their purpose remains a mystery. Join us as we explore the fascinating history. Kerma Deffufa, located near the third cataract of the Nile in what is now northern Sudan, is a significant archaeological site featuring a large mud brick temple known as the Deffufa. This impressive structure dates back to around 2500 to 1500 BCE, standing about 18 meters high with a base measuring approximately 50 meters by 25 meters. The term Deffufa is derived from the Nubian word for mud brick building, reflecting its construction material and technique. The modern archaeological investigation of Kerma began with George Reisner, a Harvard University archaeologist who started his groundbreaking work in 1913. Reisner's discoveries at Kerma reshaped our understanding of this ancient Nubian civilization, uncovering a vast urban center with extensive burial grounds and a wealth of artifacts.
I want to know what else is going to be found that hasn't been investigated yet at all. We're just touching the edge of a huge mystery.
His findings indicated that Kerma was not just a peripheral settlement, but a major urban center. The artifacts he found, including elaborately decorated pottery, finely crafted statues, and gold jewelry, suggested that Kerma was a significant center of artistic and cultural production, rivaling contemporary Egyptian cities in its complexity and wealth. Continuing Reisner's work, Swiss archaeologist Charles Bonnet began his excavations in the 1970s, which further expanded our knowledge of Kerma's sophisticated society. Bonnet's team unearthed royal tombs adorned with offerings such as ebony and ivory, highlighting the wealth and power of Kerma's rulers. The layout of residential areas revealed a well-organized urban planning system with distinct sectors for various social classes, and the discovery of organized grave sites containing human sacrifices suggested complex spiritual beliefs. These practices, possibly revolving around ancestor worship or the divine nature of kingship, are reminiscent of those observed in other ancient civilizations like the Aztecs.
I believe that it's worth considering the possibility of a remote common ancestor, which passed down key information that was inherited by later cultures.
Kerma's relationship with ancient Egypt provides an intriguing comparison. While both were Nile Valley civilizations, they developed distinct architectural styles and societal structures. Unlike Egypt's hierarchical and theocratic society, evidenced by monumental stone architecture like pyramids, Kerma's use of large mud brick buildings reflects a possibly more communal and egalitarian social structure. This difference is underscored by the different materials and building techniques, yet both civilizations achieved architectural durability and complexity.
I can't help thinking time capsule, that there was an intention to preserve this.
A compelling theory about Kerma's rise to prominence centers on its strategic location, which made it a crucial trade hub between sub-Saharan Africa and the Mediterranean world. This position likely enabled Kerma to control trade routes, exchanging local goods such as gold, ivory, incense, and exotic animal skins for Egyptian grain, wine, and linen. This vibrant trade not only brought economic prosperity, but also facilitated cultural exchange, contributing significantly to the city's development. Continuing from the fascinating historical insights into Kerma's development, the architecture displayed in the Deffufa is equally captivating and speaks volumes about the ingenuity of ancient Nubian civilization. The Deffufa, a massive mud brick structure that has stood the test of time, remains one of the most enigmatic monuments in African history. Built entirely from mud bricks, its preservation is particularly impressive considering the vulnerability of the material to erosion, The main structure of the Deffufa measures about 50 meters in length and 25 meters in width, rising approximately 18 meters high. This monumental size makes it a dominant feature in the flat landscape of the region. The construction technique involved using local Nile mud mixed with straw, which was then sun-dried. The walls are notably thick, some several meters wide, which not only adds to the building's stability, but also its defensive capabilities. The Deffufa's internal structure is divided into 3 main platforms, each potentially serving different functions. The first platform may have been used for public ceremonies or gatherings, the second for more exclusive rituals or administrative activities, and the topmost platform likely held sanctuaries or spaces reserved for the elite of Kerma society. Adding to its complexity, the Deffufa featured external staircases, a rare element in Nubian architecture, that facilitated access to its various levels, indicating a sophisticated internal hierarchy. The strategic orientation and placement of the Deffufa might have also served astronomical purposes, such as marking solstices or equinoxes, a feature common in other ancient monumental structures across the globe.
On the summer solstice, you're going to see the sun rising far to the north of east. Go there on the winter solstice, you're going to see it far to the south of east.
This architectural giant was not just an isolated structure, it was a central hub for the cultural, political, and religious activities of the Kerma culture. Its towering presence, visible for miles around, not only symbolized the authority and centralized power of Kerma's rulers, but likely also served navigational purposes along the Nile. The religious significance of the Deffufa cannot be understated. It was likely a place where rituals were performed to ensure the fertility of the land or the prosperity of the people, effectively integrating the community's spiritual life with its leadership. When comparing the Deffufa with the ziggurats of ancient Mesopotamia, both structures share similarities in materials and multi-leveled designs. However, while ziggurats were primarily religious temples, the Deffufa's design suggests it combined defensive, administrative, and ceremonial functions, indicating a nuanced approach to public structures in Nubian society compared to Mesopotamian traditions, where a clearer separation between the sacred and administrative was observed. Turning our attention from the architectural marvels of ancient Nubia to the mysterious landscapes of West Africa, we encounter the enigmatic Senegambian stone circles. These remarkable megalithic sites, distributed across the northwestern edge of Senegal and central Gambia, span a vast area from the River Gambia to the River Saloum, covering about 30,000 square kilometers. Notable sites such as Wassou and Kerbach in the Gambia and Sinangayen in Senegal draw the curious and the scholarly alike. The physical characteristics of these stone circles are as fascinating as their distribution. Each circle comprises between 10 to 24 stones made from laterite, a dense iron-rich rock. These stones, roughly cylindrical and standing about 1 to 2 meters high, are often organized in concentric circles or double circles, creating a striking visual impact on the landscape. The stone circles first came to broader recognition through the accounts of European travelers in the mid-19th century, but it wasn't until the 20th century that systematic archaeological investigations began. Gambian historian Aliou Ebrima Cham Diouf played a crucial role in documenting these sites extensively during the mid-1900s, advocating for their preservation. His efforts paved the way for more detailed studies. In the 1970s, significant strides in understanding these formations were made through the work of researchers like Pierre Tilloy. These archaeological excavations helped clarify the chronology and cultural significance of the stone circles, revealing a complex societal structure that had the capacity to coordinate the construction of these monumental works. The discovery of these societal structures reshaped our understanding of the prehistoric cultures of West Africa, indicating advanced social organization and cultural sophistication.
Our understanding of prehistory must change.
In recognition of their significant cultural value, UNESCO designated the Senegambian stone circles as a World Heritage Site in 2006. This recognition not only highlights their importance on a global scale, but also has spurred increased archaeological interest and conservation efforts. The continued exploration and preservation of these stone circles help ensure that the legacy of West Africa's prehistoric cultures continues to inform and inspire future generations. Archaeological excavations have confirmed that the circles primarily served as burial sites, with human remains often found at the center of these circles, accompanied by various artifacts such as pottery, iron tools, and jewelry. These findings indicate a belief in an afterlife and the practice of offering goods to the deceased, highlighting the deep spiritual and cultural dimensions of the societies that built them.